You're not racing against anyone. In fact, I will always win against you if you are running my race, and you will always beat me if I am running your race. Because the thing is, when you are running your own race, when you're on your own one-of-one authentic race, I don't like using the word race, but it suits this analogy well. When you're running your own race, there is no one else on your track. You are the only one on your track. It's just you there on that start line, and you've already gone. You've already started. It's just whether you've stayed on your track or not. You might be well gone. You might be on someone else's track, running their race, and they're lapping you. They're lapping you every single time you make a turn. They're just whizzing around you. Because when you are being authentic, no one else is doing it like you. Nobody else is doing it like you. So no one else is running your race. And this makes a clear point to not try to run anyone else's race. So many people go, well, I've got to beat this guy. I've got to beat this person. I've got to beat this girl. I've got to win against this thing, this person. But you're not against no one. You're not against no one. There's no competition here. Maybe at times your track may overlap with someone else's track, and you might be running 100 meters together, pushing each other, inspiring each other, giving each other momentum. But you will never have someone else on your track. You may be running alongside someone, but no one else will ever step foot on your track. And I think the mistake that so many people make is they get so caught up in running someone else's race that they lose. Because the person who's running their own race will always win. The person who's running their own race has been equipped with the tools to quote unquote win that race. If they stay on their track and they have the mission of staying on their track and doing the best they possibly can in their own race, they will always win. Because I like to think of it as when you play a football game on FIFA, the person who is playing with PSG will always win if he's playing a Sunday League team at PSG. But if PSG turns up to a Sunday League pitch, this is probably a bad analogy actually, but because PSG will probably still win. But I'm trying to get my point here is that if you bring someone, regardless of who they are, into your environment, your race, they will lose. I think of all the great people who've done great things in this world, they've all run their own race. Nelson Mandela, there's a book up there about Nelson Mandela. He ran his own race. No one else will ever replicate what Nelson Mandela has done to a T, because that was his own race. Michael Jackson ran his own race. Think of the ideas and creations that he made. He ran his own race. No one else will ever do that. Maybe there's people who you might think are similar, quote unquote similar, but they're running their own race as well. Think maybe Bruno Mars. Maybe he's quite similar to Michael Jackson. But they're still different. They're still different. They're still unique. Who else is there? Someone I look up to is someone Jay Shetty. He's running his own race. No one else is doing it like him. Because that's how it's supposed to be. Everyone is a unique creation. Everyone has been put on this earth for a reason. And it's so important that you don't get dragged away from that. Because the minute that you get dragged away from that is the minute you become a fish out of water. Is the minute that you start scrambling and having no idea where you're supposed to be going. It's like Bambi on ice. It's like being in a dark forest without a torchlight. You get my point. You will get nowhere with it. So if you're trying to do something for the validation of others, if you're trying to prove a point to someone for just proving points reason, and I think when people say that obviously you shouldn't do things to prove it to other people, you shouldn't do things to prove other people wrong, you shouldn't do things to beat someone. It's only a small source of motivation if you need it, but it's only a motivation, it's only a driver. But the pure force, the pure inspiration is you running your own race, is you acting out of inspiration. The other stuff is just like icing on a cake. It just adds to it. It doesn't add to who you are. You don't need it, but it just helps you give fuel in the fire. But the minute that you start to identify with that and you get so engrossed with that is the minute that you start running off your track, is the minute that you probably lose your shoes, you're running barefoot on someone else's track and they're lapping you and they're and they're mocking you whilst they're lapping you because they know that they're playing a completely different game to you because they are supposed to be. That is the point. So I promise you, when you get clear on the right race that you're running, I don't like calling it a race because it's not a race. When you get clear on the journey that you are on, it's just the analogy was better. When you get clear on the journey you are on, you will no longer want to be on anyone else's journey. You no longer will want to be fighting or trying to beat someone else. You will just be wanting to create from the purest place of inspiration and enjoy the journey that you are on. It's a blessing to be put on this earth for a reason and to follow and to do the things that we were created to do. So I hope this inspires you to not drift away from your path and not get engrossed in other people's paths and think of it as competition, and remember that you were put on this earth for a reason. So keep living that out because it's blessing. And remember that when you're being yourself, everything figures itself out.